One of the first things that we wanted to tell you guys about was that there is support on campus if you need it. Mental health matters and it's super important, and we want you to be able to know that there are resources for you for counseling, therapy, and there's the campus health clinic website if you know anybody or you yourself would like to go check in. We do have some social media accounts. This semester, since we are going to try to be virtual the entire semester, it's really important that you follow us on our social media sites. So we've had the Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube is new, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later. But if you don't already know these addresses, you could take a picture of it with your phone or possibly watch this recording later to type it all out. Since it is the first meeting of the semester, we did want to refresh your memory on our leadership. So we are here working for you, and of course, starting on the left side here, I'm Kayla Garver. I'm the president of our chapter, and then we have Adriana here. And Adriana, do you want to say hi so they see you?
Hi, I'm Adriana.
Adriana is our vice president. Oh, I should say I'm a Block 3 student teaching next semester, and then Adriana, you are.
I'm Block 3 as well.
Awesome. Oh, and I guess I should also say my major. I'm elementary education, also.
I'm elementary as well.
Erin unfortunately was unable to make it tonight. If you've seen her last name change, it's because she was married, so you can give her a little congratulations. Her new last name is Fitzpatrick, and she is our secretary. She is also an elementary education major. Heather is currently student teaching. She is our our treasurer, and I don't believe she's here in the meeting right now to say hi. But then we have Lily next. Lily, do you want to say hi?
Hi, my name's Lily, like Kayla said, and I'm a middle school education major, and my two concentrations are social studies and math.
Awesome.
And I'm in Block 2, which is like the equivalent of Block 3 in elementary ed, I think, because it's like the last block, so yeah.
Very cool. Thank you, Lily. And then we also have Mara Williamson, who is our fundraising chair, and I don't know if I saw her in the meeting today. I don't see her. So she, I believe, is early education, early childhood, and she, I think, is in the equivalent of Block 3 as well. Is that right, Dr. Parnan? And then we also have Theo Thompson, who is our advocacy chair, and he unfortunately was unable to make this meeting tonight. He also is in Block 3. And I feel like he's like SPED or something like that too, isn't he? Okay. So these are our leaders. Oh, next we have our counselors, just to refresh your memory. So we have Dr. Parnan, who is our counselor. You want to say hi, Dr. Parnan?
Sure. Hello, I'm Dr. Parnan. I think I know most of you, I've had most of you in class, so yeah, I'm sort of the go-to counselor to keep sort of the home fires burning and support all the leadership and what the chapter wants to do. So if you've not had me, I teach the educational psychology for early childhood and elementary ed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parnan. We also have Dr. Cuffey, who is here as well. Did you want to say hi, Dr. Cuffey? And then Dr. Sirk, I believe, was unavailable to come to the meeting today, but he teaches graduate studies, and he is also one of our counselors. And we also have Dr. Oliver, who is here in the meeting. Did you want to say hi, Dr. Oliver?
Hey everybody, I teach educational leadership, so leadership classes, school law, policy, That's all in the MS and Ed leadership program. It's good to see everybody. I'm looking forward to working with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so next we're going to try some breakout rooms, and we wanted you guys to talk amongst each other about the 3 questions. What's your major? Where are you at in the program? And if you have any pets or children.
So Kayla, did you want to put, I've never done breakout rooms before. I think this will mix you up. So, and then how long did you want people in the breakout rooms? For about 3 or 4 minutes?
That sounds great.
Okay. Well, we'll try this. See what happens. Assign 6. How about, well, we'll see what happens. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
We all get
Hi.
breakout room.
Wait, so is the other one going to be uploaded on YouTube? Then I'm so confused.
Oh, no, it's okay, Lily. Yeah, I was going to mention it later in the meeting, but we're recording this meeting, and then we will try to upload it to our YouTube account so that anybody can watch it on their leisure and then comment on it so that they can get attendance for this meeting.
Oh, okay. So is this going to be combined with the Zoom one then? Or
like the attendance?
like the wait, so oh well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but
Hey Lily, if it helps, I think I'm tracking with you. We're just in a breakout room to say hi to each person, and so tell them a little bit about yourself, and then right back to the big group. So
I think we all went from the other group to here. I think we all
transported all to the same small group, but hey, we're mighty.
thanks for clearing that up for me.
It's a test and you passed.
Okay. Well, most of us have introduced ourselves. Amanda, would you like to introduce yourself since we didn't hear from you yet?
Yes, I'm Amanda Davis. I'm a Block 3 elementary ed major. And like I said, I have this semester of classes, next semester of student teaching, and hopefully that's it. I have 3 daughters, 17, 13, and 9.
Dr. Oliver, since you're my first to the left on my screen, would you like to share if you have any pets or children?
So I do. I have 3 adult children. The oldest is 27. Tyler, he's married, lives near Westfield. He's a computer programmer. Ironically, he used to work for Blackboard. So anyways, my middle daughter, Abby, is a senior at Purdue Fort Wayne, and she's over in the org leadership department, and she's interested in pursuing management. And my youngest actually just graduated in like 3 years from Bethel, and she's a writer, and she's actually a copy editor for Annie's Publishing down in Bern, Indiana. And our latest pet is laying here on the floor, and I don't know if I can show him to you or not because I don't know if this will work, but I don't think it's going to work. Floyd, come here, buddy. Come here. Okay, come here. Come here. No, he's running away. Floyd is our... We like a lot of people, especially because we're empty nesters, but during the COVID thing, we just talked. We had a lab several years, and we lost our lab about 3 years ago to old age. But we rescued Floyd out of a animal rescue up in Waterloo, Indiana. Come here, buddy. Say hi. See, look. Say hi.
Aww.
So, but working from home, it's been really. I was talking to Dr. Nunez about this because she has a dog in the office occasionally too. But it's just something happening here that really just is very peaceful. So I don't know. He gets me out and walks me twice a day, and I get my head cleared. But that's our family. My wife and I. Angie works for my wife. Angie, you might meet her. She works for the Region 8 Education and Service Center that does all the sub calling for 12 counties. She leaves home every day at 5:30 in the morning, and it's clubs right now. I'll just tell you that. But that's a little bit about us.
I always feel right. Adriana, you're my right. Would you like to share a little bit?
Sure. Well, I already introduced my major in my program. I don't have any children, but I have 7 nibblings. So they're my nieces and nephews. It's my favorite word, nibbling. I have a bunch of chickens, 3 ducks, 7 cats, all at my dad's house, but no pets at my mom's house.
I guess since I'm the middle of the top row, I'll share next. I do not have any children, but I do have a cat, and her name is Misty, and she's a calico, and she really, really likes the camera. You'll probably see her a lot. Things you never knew about your cat until you started working online. Dr. Karn, you've moved to my right. Would you like to share?
Sure. Okay. I have 3 young adult children, so 18 to 24. My youngest just left for college this fall, so my husband and I are about 2 weeks being empty nesters. My oldest he graduated from Ball State about 18 months ago, came home. And
Hello?
Hello? Okay. And he had been working in Spain for a year and then came home early summer, and he got a long-term sub job out in Wabash to teach Spanish, and has made a career change, and he's coming back to PFW to get his cert only in Spanish education. And then my middle son is a senior at Bloomington, looking at history and wanting to go on to grad school to do more history. So we have 2 cats. Well, okay, my husband has 2 cats, but they're nice.
Dr. Cuffy, would you like to share a little bit? I'm not sure if she's on that call she mentioned earlier. So maybe, Lily, would you like to share?
Sure. So I have 2 pet hamsters that I love a ton. They're so cute. And what's funny is that I thought one of them was a female and she wasn't. So now I have a male and female. I mean, they're in separate cages, but they're still friends and all, but yeah. I forget how old both of them are. I think one of them's 3 years old and then the other one's like 1.5. I adopted both of them. So, and I also have a pet dog named Lottie, and she's super cute, and she's a black poodle. And it's, those are pretty much I think that's pretty much it, really. Love my pets.
Thank you guys for sharing.
Okay. Well, the 3 questions on your screen we were sharing. So
Okay.
So if you just want to share on those questions, that would be good.
Well, my major is middle school education, focusing on social studies and science. What it's starting to look like I will actually be focusing equally in both. I'm going to pick up a couple of science classes and end up having a double major focus or whatever they call it. Currently, I'm a senior. Finally, woo! I have this semester for my Block 2 instruction, and then next semester to pick up all the odds and ends, and then I'm off to student teaching in the fall next year. I do have 2 kids. I have 2 cats. So I got a house full of problems. My son just graduated from high school last year, and now my daughter is a freshman in high school this year. So that's pretty exciting. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Yeah, very busy.
So one of the things you don't know, but I wanted to point out, is that Lily, who's on one of the lists here of people, is also middle school education, social studies, and math. Is that right, Lily?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I see Lily popping up in my classes.
Okay. So.
Well, it's exciting to see a friendly face.
Hi, Kayla.
Dr. Parna, did you want to talk about our 4 pillars?
Oh, yes. So what we just thought might be helpful to remind people about the 4 pillars that when we're inducted in, and so because as we do planning and talk about the events, the leadership really looked at the 4 pillars to try and help prioritize the kinds of programming and things that were planned. So let me remember. So in service to humanity, so those are the ideas around that pillar, is to be treating everyone with respect and dignity, and that we're sort of in service of humanity, and as well as, but just primarily in the treating and viewing of all cultures, all aspects of humanity that is treated with dignity is really the big idea in there. Service is again sort of how it says, is that we are in service to the profession. We are in service to supporting excellence in education. Science, which is somewhat a little, I think, misleading sometimes, but this idea that we as a discipline and as a profession use the ideas in science of how to discern sort of facts sort of from opinions, but that we follow a scientific method where it's possible in doing research, and that one idea is not favored over the other just because of your personal preferences, but that you really use the process of scientific thinking. And I say that broadly with lots of quotes around it. But this idea that, you know, just because we've always thought this way, this is the way we should always do it, but rather to step back and kind of look at the facts and look at the kinds of things that are there. So that's what science is about. Also treating any research subjects with dignity. And then toil. Being an educator is hard work, but definitely the hard work is worth it, and that we are committed to doing hard work in supporting excellence in education and supporting students K-12 as well as the higher ed and practicing teachers.
Thank you, Dr. Parnan. So the next thing we wanted to do is we wanted to do another breakout room, and maybe we can
get this better this time. So I think we left 2 people behind, but I don't know who we left behind. Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to ask you guys to reflect and talk with your peers about how can we connect our campus community, how can we as KDP, connect to our campus community while applying these pillars. Since these pillars are the ones, you know, we were inducted with, and these are what we uphold and know to be true. So we want to make sure that we're applying these pillars to a lot of things we do, and we wanted to talk about how we could do that with our community on campus.
And I think just this idea then as we move forward into talking about the schedule and events, but also just any other things that are really pertinent to the chapter this year, for everyone to have ability to talk about that. So let me try breakout rooms again. Only gives me one breakout room. Close all rooms, unassigned. So we're all going to go into the one breakout room. I'm so sorry, people. I'm not very, not joined. Maybe I can do something different. Oh, I see. Whoops. Well, I guess I'm just assigning you all to a breakout room. Let me see if I can do.
Do you want us to join this breakout room, or do you want us to?
I was trying to see if I could click and manually put people in. Close all rooms. Let me close all rooms and see if I can create 2 rooms, okay? Sorry about this, guys. Okay, open other room, Okay, sorry. Shouldn't be so excited by that. Then, oh, and I can do a move too. Oh, look at this. I'm making this happen. Sorry, shouldn't be so excited.
Teaching what we value the most, you know?
That's right.
Learning.
I know, that's exactly right. So, okay. And then there we go. So there's 4 in breakout room 2, and then I'll join breakout room 1, so there'll be 4 in each. Okay. Now can you go? Do I have to put you somewhere? Open all rooms. Add a room. I don't know. So do you have things on there to say go?
I don't have anything.
No, not started. Not started. Sorry. Open.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, does it go? Okay. So go to your breakout rooms. Hopefully you'll go.
Neato.
Hello.
Hi.
We made it.
Good. So we wanted to talk about how can we connect to the campus community using our pillars. Does anybody have any thoughts or ideas they want to share?
Well, why don't you start by telling us the 4 pillars again, and then we'll work down from that.
Yeah, so we have the humanity, toil, science, and service.
Okay, so how would you think that we should work on humanity?
Humanity one is just being like inclusive.
Right.
Trying to making sure that we're including everyone.
Mm-hmm. So I think that we already do that. Don't you think so?
Definitely try to.
I mean, I think that we already demonstrate that, as far as, like maybe perhaps, I mean, we include like all of the different steps as far as like where you are within the program. I mean, everyone's included, and we're even trying now to include the ones that have graduated and the alumni. So, I mean, that's working towards including pretty much everyone. Maybe perhaps we could start by maybe taking flyers to different schools and inviting other teachers, Maybe we could do that, like have like a big recruit date or something. So, I mean, is anyone else?
Is there an all-inclusive list of every member,
What do you
like
mean?
historically?
I think we have a list of the last couple years.
Yeah.
It predates the last leadership though.
Right. Yeah.
And that's something I've been trying to work on. I mean, I've been trying to make sure that I get alumni emails because that was like a major problem. Like when people graduate, that we'd still have their PFW email.
Exactly.
And you need a different email to keep in contact with them. So I did try to do that, and then have been working with Dr. Sirk and Dr. Oliver now to try to connect more to the graduate studies people who are eligible to be in KDP.
Right.
There's always room for improvement, I feel like.
I think in every group there's always room for improvement. But I think that would be a good start as far as being able to complete our humanity act. It's just like you said, like inviting others. Like not trying to forget anyone, so that everyone is included, and making everyone aware that they are included. So.
And then we have service. Does anybody have any thoughts about how we could be more inclusive of service?
I really like the idea of handing out masks. I know we sort of talked about some plans behind that this summer. I know COVID-19, of course, kind of, makes us have to kind of just think about, meeting up, making the mask and all that. But I still think it's a really good idea. And I think a lot of people would buy the mask too, because, we all need a mask. So.
personally, I love service. Service is like my favorite or pillar probably.
Yeah.
I care a lot about, action. So like I have a lot of ideas about things that I would love to see us do. I think it's harder for me personally just because of COVID to put some of these ideas I was gonna go gung ho with, and then COVID happened. You can't exactly. It's harder to meet in person to do some of these things, but I don't think that it means that we can't do things for service. It just means that we need to be more thoughtful about it.
Absolutely. And I don't know if we could still do this. I'm not sure, but I always thought doing something at the children's zoo, like during Halloween, would be so much fun, because I know you can like dress up and like hand out candy. Because when my sister was taking Latin in high school, the teacher offered them, I think, some kind of extra credit or something if kids would dress up as, people did back then in Rome, kind of with the white robes and all that, and hand out candy and like say a few words to them in Latin or something, even though it's a dead language, so it's technically not supposed to be spoken, but oh well, just something, so I think it would be fun to, if we could, to do something at the children's zoo, for Halloween, but I have no idea what their rules about COVID are and all that, but
it's something definitely to explore. I mean, we're going to talk about it later a little bit, but we've been doing our trunk or treat, and we're not sure if we can do it or not right now, and so we're trying to think of inventive ways to try to do trunk or treat because of COVID. See if it's possible, see if people want to do it, and so that might be an option to explore if we team up with the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. Then we have toil and science are the last two pillars. Does anybody have any thoughts about any of those, or I guess any of the pillars that we've talked about so far?
Well, I think that the mask is a really good thing as far as like toil and science. I mean, because it's a way of making you feel more relaxed. I mean, if you have a really good mask. So, I mean, and it's thinking outside the box. So, I mean, I don't know like what our budget would be as far as like making them and like giving them out as we go to like maybe like a school or something and try to recruit like other teachers. So I think that that's like you said, it goes into like service too. So I mean that would be like a multi area thing to do. So I don't know. Does somebody else have any ideas as far as like toil and science?
Actually, I kind of want to back up a little bit, back to service. My experience in public service is pretty extensive. I've been involved with scouting for 20 years and other youth programs and stuff. So my initial question to you was going to be, what historically have we done? Yeah, I'm always going to go back to historical. But what have we done in the past? I mean, I don't see a need to reinvent the wheel if we don't have to. But typically, what does this organization get involved in?
Typically, well, do you mean specifically to service or just in general?
Well, just in the service part.
I guess the first one that comes to mind is they did the big event that we always participated in for service. That it's actually no longer happening. It was like once a year in like March or April, something like that, that the whole campus would do like a one big project, and it would be something of service, and we would always make sure to participate. Dr. Parnan, do you think of any other service that we would repeatedly do in the past?
Well, we did the mock interviews, and that's in service to the profession. So for all the graduating seniors each semester, we would have invited principals and superintendents to come and give mock interviews, and so that's in service of the profession and supporting our graduating students. It was open to anybody who was graduating. It was not necessarily a KDP person, and we even managed to do that in the COVID environment in May of last year. We did it quite a bit differently, but they still were committed. And that's probably that's the one event we have done probably every semester since our chapter sort of reinstated. So we've done this for 3-4 years now. consistently. I guess that's the one that comes to my mind as really being in service, but clearly there's lots of opportunities to do more service, and as different students join the organization, and I really feel like it should reflect who's currently members and what their passions are about. So, are you, the other group is done? You guys can keep talking, or you can come join us. It's up to you. I don't know where you're at in your discussion.
Do you guys think we're ready, or you want to talk some more?
Yeah, I can talk to you on one-on-one later.
Certainly. We are always open to discussions, emails. If you want to Zoom or web access, we can send out links for you and we can meet with you. We're flexible.
Right, I'm going to go back, but you guys can keep chatting.
Did you guys want to go ahead and go back to the meeting, or did you want to discuss then?
How do we go back to the main meeting?
You have to click the leave room and then make sure you click the leave breakout room, not leave the Zoom meeting, because I accidentally did that earlier.
So I just push leave room, and then it'll go, okay.
And then I'll
Bye.
pop and say leave breakout room.
Okay. See you later.
So,
Hi guys.
Oh,
oh, there's Dr. Kappa. Oh, so do we need to do I need to make you a person or a host?
I think it's still okay at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
So the next thing I was going to ask is if anybody would be willing to volunteer about what your group talked about. Except I don't have any of you there. Oh, there you are. There it is. Okay. It's really weird when you can't see anybody.
Are you getting ready?
I think Dr. Cuffey should volunteer to introduce us to that little cute one sitting on her lap.
I think so too. But you're muted, Dr. Cuffey.
Okay, this is my youngest granddaughter. This is Starlin. Oh my gosh, and she is super active, and she wants to kick everything and everybody. So say hi, Starlin. Starlin, say hi. Starlin, say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
She's a cutie.
Yeah, she's a busy one. So anyway, this is Miss Starlin. And then we have a grandson, and he's 2. And they're both busy. Oh my.
I had to reshare my screen, I guess. So that's what happened. That's why I couldn't have them both at the same time. But now that I do, does anybody want to share about what you guys talked about in your breakout room? You can either unmute your mic and talk, or you can write it in the notes.
Well, you know me. If no one talks, I'll talk. I'll talk for our group. I'll get the ball whirling here. And I really liked what Amanda was saying. We were talking about the pillar of humanity and respecting people and reaching out to folks. And so she was talking about we should really be watching for people and making people feel comfortable. And then I connected that to, I know you'll talk about this pretty soon here, this idea of being mentors to other education students in our department. And so, I mean, but I just thought that was a nice way to connect into something that we're going to talk about here in a couple of minutes. And then Adriana was talking about the pillar of toil and how it's really hard to be a student right now. And then are there ways that maybe we could continue to support students in how this is being really hard? And and I said, well, maybe some of those study tables for passing licensure exams or something. We've done that in the past. We don't have to do something like that, but this idea of helping each other through the program, I think, because it is hard. So
Yeah, definitely. In my group, I appreciated that Tom was asking about, we were talking about our different pillars. He was asking, well, what have we done in the past? And I think that is an important question to ask, especially if you are a new member and you don't necessarily see the connect from the past to the present. And maybe we should be a little bit more open in that way, is open about what we have done and what we, how we can build on that.
great point. Great point. Yeah.
Would anybody else like to share? I don't see anybody jumping up, so I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So we were talking about how can we be more transparent on campus, and one of those ways that we thought about was this idea of a group, like a subgroup of our group called Friends of KDP. And essentially, this would be anybody who's interested in education, anybody that supports education, that goes to Purdue Fort Wayne, that doesn't necessarily meet the requirements of being a member. So because we do a lot of activities, service learning, furthering education and things, and our members do pay a fee, and we have a national fee, we would ask that they would pay either per semester or a year, and it would be a little bit less than being a member, so they can kind of get a taste of what it's like. And so this could be somebody who's like a freshman or sophomore in the education program, and they want to know more about what is KDP. I hear the name, and I want to know what they do, so that they can be interested in joining our group when they're eligible, essentially. And the goals of this would just to be more visible, to have more people volunteering for us, and to be more transparent in what we're doing. And we thought it would be a good idea if we had members, current members, paired up with one of the new Friends of KDP, and then they could, you know, be there for them, check in with them, make sure that you can answer any questions they have. And if you don't have all the answers, you could always reach out to leadership, and we could help you out too, and set up a meeting with you guys. So we wanted them to have someone that they could talk to about KDP. Anybody have any thoughts about this idea? Think it's good, bad? Needs something else?
I think it sounds good.
I think it sounds like a great idea also. But if you could like maybe send out something so that we'd know like what qualifications they need to meet to be friends of KDP, that would help.
Ideally, it would just be they have to have a love of education, kind of. Just that they would just need to, you know, want to do something, and they'd have some sort of requirements, like they need to attend one induction or one graduation in a school year, so that they can see different things, so they can get a good sense of who we are and what we're doing.
Dr. Cuffey, what classes are you teaching this semester?
I'm teaching the using computers in the classroom.
So that would be a great group to share about Friends of KDP, because a lot of those students may not have taken enough education courses, or their GPA, they're still working on it, but they could still join as Friends of KDP.
Oh, okay. Well, I put the announcement up for them to, the video that was made about joining. I post that one on the, in my,
in your course?
Yes.
The one
So
for the national?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I would gladly place, you know, post this one, you know, if I just had like the complete information.
Absolutely. We're probably going to talk about that tomorrow in the meeting, the leadership meeting.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the thought process, and we wanted our members to be aware.
I don't know if this is a question or a suggestion, so I'll just throw it out there. Then you guys can either kick it to the side or run with it. But one of the things that's been a big concern of mine, not just at PFW, but just in the profession in general, is getting more young people interested in going into teaching. And I just wondered, since there are a lot of area schools now that are looking at trying to do more with like their cadet teachers, which are their junior and seniors in high schools, could the Friends of KDP be something that's extended to a high school senior? Where if they can attend an event or two a year and pay the $10 a year, that we start to connect with them so that they're getting excited about what could be in terms of coming into the profession. Because I'd really like to see more of them coming in and committing earlier to come to teachers college to go into teaching. But maybe this might be one way to come along beside them and encourage them to do that. And it may be a bad idea, I don't know, but I just wondered if I know you probably didn't talk about that, but I'm wondering if it could be used both for people on campus, but also, if we do develop a relationship with cadet teachers in the area, could it include them if they want to be a part of that?
I think I like lots of ideas in that. We'd have to think about, so the student life folks have some rules about non-students being members of student orgs, but we clearly can have some programming, or I don't know, little siblings of KDP. I don't know, no high school student wants to be that, but clearly I think we can do some affiliations or some partnerships. I think could be some real richness in that.
Yeah, I think this idea has room to grow, and that's part of why I like this idea, is because it could change depending on our needs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide here. So this one is kind of describing the semester in a nutshell. This is our tentative schedule, and I mostly say tentative because we included a few things on here that we haven't hashed out all the details yet for. And so obviously today we're having our chapter meeting. Next week, a week from today, we're going to have a call-out meeting, which is essentially explaining KDP and who we are to anybody who would possibly be interested in joining, so that we can spread the word better on KDP. And then the Monday after that would be our induction meeting. So hopefully anybody interested could come out to the call-out meeting, and then if they're interested, they could just come to the induction the next week. And we have set it up now so that if you are joining KDP or you need to renew your dues, you can do so on the national website, that you can do your national and local dues all together. Then we have a chapter meeting in October that we're going to discuss resparking teaching passion. And that's one I believe that Dr. Oliver and Adriana were going to head on that one. And we have this idea of trunk or treat listed. And that one is one we've done trunk or treat for a couple of semesters now, or years, I guess I should say. This was supposed to be our 3rd annual, I believe. And we had a lot of really big plans that we were going to try to collaborate with the music groups on campus and make it a really big thing. But some of these ideas kind of got pushed back a little bit because of COVID. And we still love the trunk or treat. I personally love Halloween, if you couldn't tell from my already Halloween decorations behind me. And so if we can make trunk or treat a thing, I think it would be really fun to still try to do. And if you have any ideas or you're interested in it, please let us know. You can put it in the comments. We're actually going to send out a survey after this meeting as well, so you can just click on there to show your interest, so we can get updates about that. We also decided to have a meeting about Convo in November. Convo this year was canceled because of COVID. So since we can't do that professional learning, it's a great experience to further your education, and we want to tell you more about it. So hopefully next year you can go. And I believe that some of the things that was supposed to be happening for Convo, they do different panels and things that you can go to. And some of those ideas are not getting thrown to the wayside. Thomas, who is our regional coordinator, told me that he's going to try to incorporate those in different ways. So if you are hooked into the national website, I highly recommend looking at it, using it. There's scholarships available to you. There's different student, if you're going to be a student teacher next year, there's a student teacher of the year award. There's lots of great resources on the website, and they're going to potentially post some more videos of people doing their panels. They're going to have old ones from past years available to look at, and there's possibly going to be some like articles about the ones that were supposed to happen this year. They're just going to put them in written form to send out. So the national website is not something to fear. I highly recommend looking at it, going to it. It has lots of information, resources available to you that will benefit you. Then we have our mock interview event in November as well, which we do annually. And that's for the student teachers, and you can help out with that and volunteer to help make it happen. It's a great event. We also have the disability panel. Theo knows a lot more about this than I do. I believe a different organization on campus is doing it. Is that right, Dr. Farnan?
I think the College of Professional Studies is doing some sort of panel online, but I have not heard, I've not been part of that conversation, but Theo seemed to think that there was a way for our organization to participate in this disability awareness panel. And so we're, so I'm assuming more information will come from him soon.
That's why that one is tentative yet, because I believe they haven't picked a date for it. But if we can help out with it, I think that it would be a great way to count as an event for you to help out with that.
Sorry, I have to go. I have classroom Zoom meeting in 1 minute, but
Oh, that's
I'll be at the meeting tomorrow though.
Goodbye, Lily. We're so glad you could come.
Bye.
Then we'll have a chapter meeting at the end of the semester in December, and that one's just going to recap what we did this semester and look to next semester. Normally we do that in graduation all together, but we decided for graduation, it's the only thing we're going to do that's going to be non-virtual. We're going to do a drive-through because we, as you well know, give out graduation baskets at the end of every semester. And when we were considering how to approach graduation, it's kind of expensive to send a giant graduation box in the mail. So we thought it would be a good idea to have the graduates come on a certain day between a certain time, and then have them come through and drive through and pick up their graduation baskets. And the details of that are not entirely hashed out. So if you get excited about that idea and you would like to help out planning that, that will be available to you as well. Any of these events or meetings, you can help plan. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your help. If you are interested in it, but you just want to see how things are done, you want to see how meetings are run, you are more than welcome to reach out and say that you would like to, just come and watch or come and listen to one of the meetings at plannings. And that's available to you as well. So you've probably heard me say it a few times, but we are going to be virtual this semester. We decided it was what was best for you guys as members to be virtual and to do our part in not spreading COVID. It will be the same requirements. Last year, halfway through the semester, we did end up going virtual because of the stay-at-home order and everything happening. But this semester, and it was sort of surprise and kind of messy. But this semester, since we're going into it and we're going to be virtual the whole time, we thought it would be okay to still have the requirements this semester. But I don't want you guys to freak out that you guys are still going to be required to do one meeting and one event, even though it's virtual. We will try to work with you as much as possible. We just need you guys to reach out and let us know. If anything happens, you don't think you can make one meeting or one event this semester, please email us, let us know, talk to us. If you want to talk to us in person, we can set up a WebEx meeting or a Zoom meeting with you and talk to you about it. We're here to work for you. We want you to succeed. So and we can't help you if we don't know. So please reach out and let us know what's going on. And one of the ways that we want to be a little bit more flexible with you and to work with you is we also are going to start recording our meetings, possibly events. We'll see how that goes. We haven't necessarily hashed out all those details, but we're going to start recording some of these sessions, and we uploaded it to our YouTube account. And I'm sure you guys noticed earlier, there was the YouTube link. So essentially, if you can't make a chapter meeting, then we will have it available for you to view on the YouTube website. And when you do that, if you could just comment on the video, something about the video, maybe something you like from the video, maybe an idea you had from the video, maybe you're interested in talking more about something they discussed in the video, just comment something like that on the video, and then that will count for your attendance for watching the video. So does anybody have any thoughts, concerns about this? It's kind of a lot of information at once.
Kayla, did you want to, so you had mentioned, I think alluded to, there is a leadership meeting that happen regularly. And again, if you wish to just want to come and be a part of that, you just need to reach out to anybody who's a Kappa Delta Pi leader, and they can get you the link, and everyone is welcome to come. You can just be sort of a participant or an observer, just come and hear what's going on, or add to the conversation. But those leadership meetings are open to anyone. You don't have to wear a crown or anything to be a part of that meeting. I just wanted to clarify that for people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Farnan. Especially, we want those meetings to be open, especially because, as many of you may have noticed earlier, we have a lot of people who are going to be student teaching next semester, myself included. And our treasurer is actually student teaching this semester. So we have a lot of positions that will be open and available to you if you are interested. And if you are interested in any of the leadership positions, you can talk to any of the leaders who are in those positions now and answer any of your questions. You can come to these leadership meetings, kind of see what we're doing, see if how you think it will go, if you think that it'll work for you. And we want to be very transparent about that so that you kind of know how it'll go. I wanted to post again for you guys the links to our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We are going to try to be a little bit more, what's the word? We're going to post more. I guess I couldn't remember the word. We are going to be posting more, and the YouTube will be especially important for you guys if you guys need to watch a meeting. We're also going to try to do things for you guys. We're going to try to do kind of rewards or gifts. So maybe at a meeting, we can do a giveaway prize, or if you attend every meeting or every event, you'll get some sort of gift at the end of the semester. So there are things that we're going to try to do for you as well. And I know this is it's a very packed meeting here at the end here. We are hosting breakout rooms if anybody would like to chat with anybody specifically, and we're free to answer any questions that you may have. We are going to send out a survey after this meeting so that you guys can let us know how you think, how you feel, any ideas, thoughts about the semester.
Kayla, I just want to tell you, the slides are wonderful tonight. I don't know who did those, but wow.
I did them.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I tried.
It was very nice, and Theo's not here, but Kayla and Theo and myself spent some time thinking through this, and I really think Kayla and Theo really took the ideas that we talked about in that meeting, planning meeting, and it shows tonight. So thank you. But yeah, if people want to chat more individually, I think I'm getting better at breakout rooms. And so Kayla, in this survey, and I know you sent me a link, but it was one technology button away from my ability this past couple of days to look at. Do you have in there for people like, so I know Amanda was saying like, hey, you know, the Halloween thing might sound kind of fun, but want to just sort of stay in the loop. Is there a way on that survey to say, hey, I'd like to be on the loop or on the email list for the chatter about XYZ event or planning thing?
Yes, there is a section where it will ask you if you are interested in any of the following, and then you can click the box if you're interested in, say, fundraising and you want to help out with thinking fundraising ideas or just hearing about what's going on in fundraising and just keeping up to date with that. If you click one of those boxes for one of those things, we will send you the emails and the links for those.
Anyone have thoughts? I mean, would you want to chat? Do we want to like pull off the shared screen, and is it easier to chat when we're bigger squares? Do people want to talk about things, have thoughts? I know, Tommy, you said you had maybe some more questions, or if anyone has questions, you can ask questions without feeling fear that we might say, who you want to do XYZ? What? Can I sign you up? No pressures. You know, we can do something, or we can end the meeting and you will not hear me babble anymore.
Or me, I feel like I've talked quite a bit.
I'm happy to stay, but honestly, I'm going to probably go. We've had some great productive meetings. I have to tell you, Kayla, hats off to everybody. And I agree with everything Dr. Pernin said about what tonight reflected, and it was just excellent. So kudos to you.
Yeah. Yes, and yeah. So I think clearly I want to say Kayla and Adriana and Erin and you know, Lily and Theo have done some nice chatting. I think you've done a whole lot of texting, and I've not even been on those kinds of things. So that's good. And just as an update, Adriana and I spent some time planning today for the call out meeting next Monday, and then the induction ceremony. So
That's awesome.
So which is good. I thought a lot of good progress was made in that. So. And
there's an email in your inbox, Adriana.
Yeah. I'm gonna respond after this call.
Okay. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.